huge, I think. He's super hot. He would have made a great husband. You're feeling it about Penguin Bloom?
Yeah.
Which was really not a penguin, but a magpie. Spoiler alert!
This lady.
She's a real lady by the way. Her name was, or is Sam Bloom, Samantha Bloom.
She fell off this ledge.
One of her kids wanted to go up on this rooftop, and they all went up, and she leaned against this faulty railing and then fell over. And this was in Thailand.
I thought it was Australia.
Well, they're
My plan.
So that whole time, Dan, you were like, huh, Australia looks very tropical. I see. No, and they were neither Australian. They were, I believe, from New Zealand. I'm like 99%. There are some flashbacks where they show her before the accident, but most of the time it's pretty linear in that it goes from the time of the accident and then all the way through, I would say, several months after the accident. So this mother, and she had, I think, 3 boys. They go on this vacation, she gets injured, they come back home, and lo and behold, is what you would expect. She is very much resistant to her present state, which is, you know, she's paralyzed from, they described it from like her bra strap down. And she is very limited in the beginning of what she thinks she can do with this new body, I suppose you could say she has. Her husband seems very supportive.
I felt very similar.
From your accident?
Yeah. I enjoy seeing how he and her
Do you like that part?
in the middle of the night line. And then
Yeah. There's definitely, you can get a sense of what her care is like, and you see scenes where her husband's mainly her caretaker for some things, such as helping in the shower and helping her turn in bed at night. Her kids, they're pretty young, and she's frustrated by the fact that she used to care for them, of course, as a mother, and she's no longer able to pack their lunches or drive them to school, or so she thinks at this point in her journey. There's this like other underlying story of a bird that comes to the house and doesn't seem to leave, and the kids befriend it and they keep it inside the house. So it's a magpie. So our understanding of a magpie, at least from the story, is that they're territorial, but they're extremely loyal and monogamous. This bird becomes a part of the family, and it's very sweet. And I would have to say, in terms of pros, you really get a sense of the support that this woman has. And then you also get beautiful cinematography. I mean, New Zealand is a beautiful country. It's gorgeous. One thing that was a little weird was the kids played a lot on the roof. There was no barrier, and so I'm like, she just fell off of a roof. Wouldn't you be nervous that your kids would fall? And sometimes they would even like jump from the roof to this trampoline down below, and I'm like, I'm hyper, like worst case scenario type person, so that's me. But I think the biggest thing about this movie, of course, it's like the elephant in the room, is it's played by a famous actress, Naomi Watts, who's very talented, but she doesn't have a disability. She doesn't have a spinal cord injury. She isn't paralyzed. For me and Dan and I, we had a pretty big argument about this. Just want to point that out, that we talk through it to be able to share with you all what our thoughts are. I don't understand why Hollywood can't try harder. There are actors and actresses out there that could have played that part. And then some might say, well, what about the pre-accident scenes? Which there were a few. There you go. That's your argument, Len?
Yeah.
But we have massive amounts of editing and technology to do so very convincingly. We have even the most basic tools, such as body doubles. A lot of those scenes didn't necessarily even need to see her face. You could have easily had a body double who resembled a tall, blonde, white lady who is walking around with her kids and having fun. Another thing too, which I do think that this probably played a big part, is that Naomi Watts is a big name in Hollywood. She was Mulholland Drive, an Academy Award-winning picture and such, and so it's like, she's a known name, and perhaps they're thinking she'll carry the film, and people recognize her name and want to see the movie. And that might very well be the main reason why they chose her to play the part. But for that, I think to myself, hire another big name for a non-disabled role. So that way, it still can carry the movie. Like, make the husband be, who's the other guy who's Australian, who's like really hot?
Black child.
He's not Australian. He's the one that played that like the like circus owner.
He's
dead.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so clearly we're not casting agents. But, why should people watch this movie? Should people watch this movie, Nate?
Okay.
Why should people watch this movie?
I enjoyed it.
That's it? That's all? That's the only reason why people should watch it? It's Dan approved. Hugh Jackman. Lord. It's just been a long weekend, folks. I'm tired, okay? Hired Hugh Jackman for the husband role. He could have carried the film. I just feel like in many ways, this was a missed opportunity. So there you have it. But if you do want to learn about and gain some insights about what the emotional arc is of having a particularly physical traumatic injury looks like, then I think this is like Dan's story, similar to, then this would be a really neat and entertaining movie to watch. It wasn't a bad movie. It's just, I think I was more hung up on that aspect of it. So we hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching.
Cheers.
Keep it Ginchiest. Thank you so much for watching another episode of the Ginchiest, where we talk about our disability experiences and what they teach us about being human.
Subscribe. I dare you.
Oh my god, you ruined it.